What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp here for the Fightful.com podcast, October 18th edition. We're going to talk Smackdown, the biggest fight of the summer. AJ Styles versus James Ellsworth for the WWE Championship. I am joined by Jeff Hawkins of Shake Them Ropes. Jeff, how are you?
Doing well. That was a rather enjoyable show, I thought, after that first segment.
It was okay. I mean, maybe here's how Smackdown is to me. Usually I'm like, meh, nothing special. But then I go through it and I'm like, okay, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. That's just how it is. It definitely, I wouldn't call it a memorable show, but it was a.
No, I'm not gonna gush over it necessarily, but I also got to fast forward through commercials tonight, so that.
As did I had a couple segments that I had a real problem with, though, and we'll get to those.
Okay,
guys, if you all haven't been to Fightful.com lately, head over there. We have completely redone our main page to allow you more features, things of that nature. I've been told that I say things of that nature a lot, so I'm gonna keep saying it.
I think we all have our go-to kind of phrases when we're trying when we're trying to like think of stuff on the fly. I say and whatnot a lot. I find, you do this and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah. If you all don't like MMA, boxing, or wrestling, you can go to our MMA, boxing, and wrestling homepages, Fightful.com/wrestling/MMA/boxing. Bookmark it, use it, love it. Forums are being overhauled soon. We're being added to iTunes as soon as they approve it. Bitch at them, not me, you guys, but Fightful.com is the place to go. Our podcast page is also overhauled, easily accessible for all you guys. Go there, click on those on it links, support the Fightful podcast. But yeah, check out Fightful.com, share it, Reddit, Facebook groups, Twitter, that kind of stuff. We had Smackdown Live tonight. Mm-hmm. Big time match. Actually, it was a world title match that was touted all week long. We'll be getting to that. We kicked off with more Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton duty. Jeff,
I thought Randy Orton was rather plotting in this match. I don't know. Maybe it was just me. Like those last few when he was doing the fired up comeback, the clotheslines he was throwing. Just nothing to them. I think they're just kind of going through the motions here. Although, they're, the Kane visual, I don't know. Did you see that coming or not?
When you say the Kane visual, what do you mean?
Popping up out of the casket.
No, but just because I didn't give a shit.
No, okay.
That's why. I mean, it's like there's a casket out there. They're going to do a casket match of some sort, probably.
Yeah. That's what I assume this is leading to. I think it's going to be a one-on-one casket, too. I don't think it's going to be a tag team. I hope not.
It's like some people got together and said, how can we make this feud more boring? Let's do a casket match.
Well, it's funny because I bet you they were trying to come back. Okay, what can we add to it to add some spice to it? And we're going to put the super nat. By going in that direction, they're making it more, I don't know, unbearable.
There's been like one good casket match in wrestling history, and it wasn't in WWE. It was in Lucha Underground. Yeah,
I think I was at that one live too. That thing was spectacular.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I don't get it. And Kane, they're shoehorning him in here.
Well, they're in a holding pattern until they get through Hell in the Cell, so they can start this Survivor Series build, such as it is.
Well, it's trash. It's absolute trash.
Mm.
I would rather drink a gallon of Ice Mountain bottled water than watch Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt continue this feud. And that is like drinking toilet water.
Oh, is it?
It sucks.
I don't know what is that. Is that a brand name of water? I take it.
You better hope you never find out what it is.
Okay.
Because it sucks. It sucks. Alexa Bliss versus Naomi. I thought this match also sucked.
I did enjoy it. Naomi out there like a bag of pool toys. With neon pool toys, and then Alexa with the Freddy Krueger outfit.
Alexa was fine.
She was fine. Opinion. Yeah, they just don't click together, these two. And I don't know if Naomi clicks with anybody.
Who the hell does Naomi clicked with.
No,
This is what I keep hearing. I want Naomi and Summer Rae to have a 15-minute match, no interruptions, book however they want to their strengths. That way, I can finally. I keep hearing all these people. Oh, Summer Rae, Naomi, underused. Summer Rae, Naomi. I keep hearing all these accusations that they're good workers, that they have good matches. But when I ask someone to point me in the direction of one of these good matches, radio friggin' silence.
Yeah, no, I don't deny the point, and it should be a 15-minute Broadway, and whoever has the worst of the two matches or the worst of the two performers should get fired.
Or if they can't put together a good match together.
Tag teams?
See ya. No, see ya.
Summer and Naomi as a tag team.
Man, I just keep hearing all these people that are like, man, Naomi, she's real good. Man.
What is the point of 50-50 booking this? I don't see it unless Naomi unless we're getting another Naomi Alexa Bliss feud after Alexa wins the title in Glasgow, and I hope that's not happening. But
Naomi's who's the guy from PWG that just got caught? Got caught this summer.
Not Matt Sydal.
Speedball Mike Bailey.
Speedball Mike Bailey. Okay.
She's got to either learn how to do those kicks or stop doing them.
Okay.
She doesn't turn her hips when she does them, and it really affects things. Like it was, and WWE actually went and they GIF or GIFed, whatever the hell, the creator of the damn file says it's a GIF. They went and GIFed it on their social media. I'm like, why would you do that? Did you GIF Dana Brooke screwing up and not reaching the ropes on Monday? I hope not.
Her legs are too short to kickbox with God. Oh, that was such a bad spot. But they have to have that second feud here, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's odd because they go, and now your next challenge in 3 weeks. So are we not seeing Alexa Bliss for 3 weeks again? Or are we just going to see more of this?
Who knows? I don't know. Jeff, I'm looking down this card, and I don't know what the hell you liked about it outside of the first hour, or outside the second hour.
The second hour is pretty much what I'm talking about.
Apollo Crews versus Kurt Hawkins didn't happen because Kurt Hawkins left before the match started.
I liked that. Did you like that? Did you like we did?
I liked it a lot more when it was Eva Marie doing it.
Oh, I just meant not having to see Kurt Hawkins wrestle.
Sure.
Okay, look, I wasn't gonna fluff this show. I just thought, you know what? It like I said last week, it ended well, so I enjoyed it probably more than I would if it had ended on like a Raw main event. Oh yeah, ponder that for a bit.
I'm trying to ponder it. I didn't. Oh man.
What?
I don't know. Have
I left you at a loss for words or something? Do we want to talk about that?
It's like they were just doing this damn angle with Eva Marie. Do they think that we forgot about it?
They just did the Heath Slater angle with James Ellsworth. So, I mean, it's...
No, not really.
It's the same underdog build, and they're trying to do it on Raw, and it's going to blow it, too.
I would love if Heath Slater and Rhino took James Ellsworth under their wing. And Heath Slater was like, I've been here before. Let me help you. That's the logical progression of this storyline. But no, Heath Slater was a longtime wrestler in the WWE. He wasn't drafted. He wasn't appreciated. He kept getting his ass kicked. He had to fight for his job. James Ellsworth is just being gifted stuff.
Okay.
And he's a puny little dude that people like. Carmella comes out. I thought...
This was fantastic. This was fantastic, and I won't hear anything else. I thought, you know what?
What?
Let me put it this way. Compare this to the Raw interviews and things of that nature. I thought Carmella was... Look, when Carmella called her a gold digger, and look, let's give this SmackDown crowd some credit, too, because on Raw, this promo gets wutted to death. SmackDown crowds aren't wutting any promos and drowning people out.
I was wutting them, as in what in the hell are they doing scripting these two girls to act like 8th graders? Carmella comes out. How stupid. They've been plugging Total Bellas on TV every week.
Yeah, that's part of the point.
It's like, and she
comes out with a video package.
This makes Carmella look like such a dumbass.
How so? No, explain. Say your side here, Mr. Cranky.
Okay. So Carmella comes out.
Right.
And she's like, guys, I got a bombshell. Nikki's dating John Cena. Oh, shit. No, she didn't. Did she? She did.
She cut a promo saying that Nikki Bella was gifted everything. That she got in.
This would have worked a hell of a lot better a year ago.
I agree, but it's not bad. That doesn't make it bad necessarily because their timing's off.
But here's the thing:
this has more heat than Sasha and Charlotte right now.
I don't think so. I don't think so. And I'll talk about that in a moment. But it's like that one went out the door. People know better now. They know. Okay. Well, first off, there have been like a million things. Like people
before you go into this, let me cut you off here real quick because the crowd played along with it. That's all that matters here is the crowd bought into it and the crowd played along. What? I'm not looking for Meryl friggin' Streep out there.
Somebody says, can we just go back to Carmella beating the fuck out of Nikki Bella? That worked a lot better, in my opinion.
That. And I'll take
but like everybody knows
down.
Everybody knows the score. They know Nikki Bella like works really hard. Not only did she work really hard to get better in the ring because it was evident by how good she was and how not good Brie was. They saw the physical difference, not just that in which was produced in a doctor's office, but how she was physically, how she looked different than Brie Bella, and how she did that, how she came back from a neck injury in which very few women wrestlers would have ever even considered in her position, especially. They would have just sat their asses at home. Everybody knows the score now.
It's not real, Sean.
I know that. This doesn't work anymore. And it makes Carmella look like a dumbass.
I don't know. I thought her calling Nikki clingy and
sure,
yeah, with that clip, I thought that was perfect. That was fine. I don't understand.
But that was another thing. You have these girls and anybody throwing a video.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
I get that.
Look at this.
I get that, and I get that all WWE writers can write are catty women. I get those criticisms, but I'm looking at this in a vacuum. This show, I thought it wasn't that bad. You obviously beg to differ because you're looking at the bigger picture here. Sure. Let me put it this way. Carmella and Nikki at least came off halfway natural compared to, say, Natty on the first half of that promo that she was doing.
No way.
No,
that's the one thing I like.
You are on crack right now, son, because the only thing that was good about that Natty promo was when she finally could let down the fourth grade assembly acting and say, look at my cats on Instagram.
Yeah. That's what I liked about it. Okay, we'll talk about that here in a minute. But I hated that they had Carmella throw the video.
You hate everything, and it makes me you're stealing my gimmick because I hate everything. So
well, I hated that they had her be like, "Oh, John Cena." They could have had that like be a build, like Carmella and Nikki are going at it about something, and like Nikki's like, "What's your problem with me?" And then she says it, like, "This is my problem with you." Instead, it's that same old pro wrestling promo where two people come out and they're airing their grievances in front of everybody.
Yes.
Like, Jeff, if me and you had a disagreement about like something about the show, like behind the scenes, we wouldn't come on here and be like, Jeff, I'm calling you out, buddy.
Okay, here we go. It's a sports entertainment promo. I get that. I get your criticism because I've had the same criticism for years, but they're not changing it. They're not going to go back to old school feeling like a fight because that's only reserved for certain people who are viewed as ass kickers and whatnot. The second tier feud in the women's division isn't getting that kind of heat. And real
out there saying, let me tell you what fearless means. I don't give a shit what fearless means. I want to see you and Carmella beat each other up again.
Let me tell you why I have this word across my shirt, because it shows off your boobs. Okay, we get it.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the Natalia
You are
thing.
fired up. What the hell is wrong with you today?
I like the Natalia thing. She was quoting Whitney Houston.
You are so
but
wrong on this.
I don't think that Daniel Bryan should have brought up that she was doing it. She should just do it every week.
I was wondering if they were going to pay off that joke when she was doing it, because I caught on to it very early, and I was like, she's quoting Whitney Houston. Are they going to call out this bit? I don't know. She's so wooden when she does these types of jokes, and when she says she's the Queen of Hearts, but then it was something she actually cared about, her friggin' cats on Instagram. It's like, and then it sounded like a real human being. That part I liked. I told you and Bix that. It's like, no, that half of the promo was great. The first half was garbage, is the French saying.
I liked it all. You
were so wrong.
So I met Mike Mondo a few years ago, who plays Mike in Spirit Squad. I'm going to say, and this was just a few years ago, he was the size of a house, pure muscle. I'm going to guess his regimen has changed a little bit. His regimen.
Is he married and happy? Perhaps he's getting fed well.
That must be it. That's what we'll chalk it up to.
And you know what? Once you're not on the road all the time, you don't want to hit the gym all the time. I mean, there's a lot of like it's weird because you know this. Football players, if you're the big guys like the offensive linemen and the defensive linemen, you get thin all of a sudden. Everybody else blows up. All the guys who had metabolisms like hummingbirds. So
we had Heath Slater, Rhino, and Dolph Ziggler against Spirit Squad and The Miz. Heath Slater explained that the reason that they saved Dolph Ziggler last week is because he wanted to be a role model to his kids. Rhino just hates male cheerleaders. Now, do you think that's going to cost him votes?
In that district, just the art of being a Republican costs him votes. So I don't know. The male cheerleader demographic in Michigan, I don't know. I think they're more concerned about football in Michigan than cheerleading.
Kenny got a win.
Heath Slater got some extended offense and got to be on top for a while. That was shocking. He's getting chants out there, which is great. He's getting the crowd fired up to see Slater in a 6-man match with Dolph Ziggler. You know what? Fine. The ending was a bit hokey, but it was supposed to be what it was supposed to be, so I didn't have a problem with it. The heels need to win here. And you know what? The Spirit Squad could use a little bit of credibility, I think. So I had no issue with it.
Thought it was good for all involved, really. The Miz doesn't lose. Dolph Ziggler doesn't lose. Heath Slater can lose. It's fine for him to lose. That's part of his deal. He loses.
Yes.
Kenny gets a win. That's cool. Good for him. So I'm all for this.
And as bad as the commentary is on this show at times, I enjoy the fact that the producer fed Otunga the line, the setup, and then you can just see them in the back when he misses kind of that cue in terms of, oh, I missed a total softball there. They're just chuckling and can't even concentrate on the match. I liked that kind of peek behind the curtain there.
That was good. Did you see those behind-the-scene videos that were released? Somebody posted them on Reddit.
Yes.
That's kind of a cool look.
If they're the ones I think they are. I'm not.
Brian Kendrick and then Danny Masterson and Ashton Kutcher.
Oh, no, I haven't seen those.
It's just them preparing and
like
them having to sit uncomfortably close to each other to fit into shots and things like that.
Ooh, I'll have to look those up.
Yep, pretty cool. Baron Corbin beat Jack Swagger, hit the end of days on him. That was impressive as hell. That end of days on Jack Swagger. That was nice.
Yeah, well, he's done that before already, so it's kind of like, well, now he's beat him twice. Are we going to see a third match here also? Where does Baron Corbin go from here, you think?
Where does Jack Swagger go from here?
I don't know either, because they didn't build him up, really. They just brought him in.
Bellator.
They brought him in and they killed him, so. New Japan. That's where I want Jack Swagger.
Had Baron Corbin never lost to Dolph Ziggler, how different things would be right now for him.
Oh, yeah, because they're still building him as part of that Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on his intro. So, I mean, he'd be undefeated. He'd have that streak going. He'd have that aura about him. And people would be asking for better competition, and now he's still in a holding pattern.
How long before Baron Corbin shaves his head?
Early or at the very least, shorter hair. Very soon, I think, or that he gets plugs.
Chris Masters and Chavo did it, and their hair looks great now.
Yeah.
Just do it. Just do it.
It's buyer beware, because some guys look terrible with plugs.
Looks like doll hair.
Yeah, if you get the wrong doctor, you're in a lot of trouble.
That's true. Just go to the one that they went to. They went to the same one, I think.
Bosley, I think.
Yeah, that dude. Whatever.
As a bald man, you research these things from time to time.
We're eventually going to see like Chavo and Chris Masters and Baron Corbin's name on some Bosley signature scandal.
Larry Zbyszko used to do ads. He and Wade Boggs went to the same guy.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I do remember that. Big match of the night, James Ellsworth versus AJ Styles, WWE World Championship. Earlier in the night, Dean Ambrose had presented him with his own shirt, which was fantastic. Now, spot of the match. Dean Ambrose, keep in mind, was the ringside. He was the guest ring announcer and the timekeeper. The spot of the show was AJ Styles going to put James Ellsworth in a chin lock and it not working. It just slipped off because Ellsworth has no chin. This was so great.
I thought there was a lot that was great even in that promo because I thought him getting emotional and taking it very seriously. I liked that touch. It's a shame they didn't.
He should have.
It's a shame they didn't make a shirt that people would want to buy of him so that he can make a lot of money off of this in his very short run here in the WWE. You know, something like two fists and a chance or something like that, or whatever the heck you want to do.
Pro Wrestling Tees.
Oh, does he? I was not aware.
Which is where people can go to get Crack and Fight Team and Catch's Catch Can Wrestling shirts at prowrestlingtees.com/Sean Ross Sapp.
Was this the near fall of the year in this match?
Yeah, it was.
That thing was spectacular. I popped like hell for that near fall.
The no chin music, they called it.
Yes.
Gold. It was gold.
It was absolutely spectacular, I thought. And it's, you know, the super kick is the perfect move to do that with because everybody knows it's a finisher out there that a lot of people can do it. And when people can do it, it's impressive. It's even more impressive when a guy who looks like Ellsworth can do it as crisp as he did.
Yeah, that was a nice super kick.
Yeah, and props also to Ellsworth for his cardio for that, getting thrown out of the ring, getting thrown back in the ring sequence, because that's enough to kill a man, I think.
Hey, guys, send in questions because we're 25 minutes into the show, and we're already almost through the show.
Because Sean didn't like it, so he rushed through
what else?
it.
What did I forget, Jeff? What did I miss?
I don't know.
Come on, do the big reveal.
Man, I regret ever showing you how to do these sound effects. I do.
Yeah, you do. You sure do. I didn't think it was a terrible show. I thought there was some terrible stuff on it. It
wasn't a bad watch for me. I mean, as compared to, Raw was tough at some times.
Especially when you spend an hour watching it because you fast forward through all the commercials. Sure.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
James Ellsworth won via DQ when AJ Styles just beat the hell out of him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't with this too. A lot of people didn't like that, but what did you think?
It once again, it towed the line of being too cute for my liking, but I was fine with it for a bit. I just, it's that cutesy. Well, it's you know what? It's the same problem you had with the Carmella and Nikki segment. As opposed to really being annoying and really getting under the skin, it's that cartoony way of doing it to the point where you don't believe he's really angry. He's just kind of doing it for show. So that would be my critique of that. Now is James Ellsworth the number one contender still?
He should be.
He got a win. I did like that I did like on the announcement that Dean took a dig at John Cena for saying that Ellsworth had more wins than Cena did over AJ Styles. I liked that a lot. I think that sows some seeds for later down the road.
Ellsworth now 2-0 against AJ Styles. I did like that Ambrose took that shot at Cena because he shouldn't like Cena.
Right.
And where's Cena? If I were him, I'd be taking even more shots at Cena because Cena is reinforcing the promo that Ambrose cut on him about being a part-timer.
Yeah.
So hopefully that goes somewhere as well. Paige and Del Rio, the gift that keeps on giving. They're going to be on Total Divas. They're romance. Yeah.
Where are they registered?
Boy, that would be interesting.
There's a softball for you.
He's like got Kevlar shooting sleeves and stuff, so he doesn't get stabbed anymore. Man,
a couple of key
Raw viewership up big time for Goldberg's return. 15%, or I think 13% increase. They got up to 3.1 million viewers, including the third hour, which is usually a giant drop off. Jeff, does this surprise you? I did have people on my Facebook feed last week saying Goldberg's coming back. People who don't usually watch wrestling.
The only reason it didn't surprise me too much was that the Monday Night Football game was a dud, but the baseball game was on at the same time. And you know what? Once Goldberg came out there, you know what? It was kind of social media and turned the channel to this worthy, I thought. You know what? I think that's possibly Goldberg's best promo he's ever cut. As I commented, hey, who gave him Hawk's charisma? Because all of a sudden he became this charismatic. He felt like a superstar to me. He felt like, again, they do this so well with the WWE when they bring back a nostalgia act. At least for the first week, they make them feel like $1 million and have that aura of having $1 million. Now
you haven't seen him getting beaten 20 times in a year either.
But at the same time, I mean, they did with Sting, and then when they start to tinker with it, then it gets kind of, it's always the follow-up. It's never the introduction usually.
I've had a lot of people
talk
about this Sasha Banks Charlotte thing, and I have seen some really turdy takes on it.
I agree. I mean, you've been complaining about some of them, and I've been following your Twitter, so please indulge me.
I had a guy say that these two couldn't live up to the standard of a Hell in a Cell match.
No, that's not the complaint I'd have, if anything.
The standard of a Hell in a Cell match to live up to greats such as CM Punk versus Ryback, Big Boss Man versus The Undertaker, Kane versus Mankind, and these two women who generally have fantastic matches can't.
No.
I don't want to be like the weirdo leftist, the women. It is their time. It is their time to be able to do this shit. They've proven they can go in the ring. They've proven they can go together. And people are saying, well, they need a feud that's just filled with hatred. I don't care.
I'm angry.
No.
Yeah.
It's a pro wrestling match.
Yeah, if I was going to criticize anything about this, it wouldn't be the abilities of Charlotte or Sasha or even, the creativity therein. I think they're going to be fantastic in this match, or at least they're going to try to be. They're going to try and bring it here. And I assume something's going to happen on top of that cage at some point. My criticism... go ahead.
Somebody says Charlotte and Sasha aren't ready to main event yet, in my opinion. Hey, buddy, go back and watch WrestleMania. How about that?
Go back and watch Raw a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Tell me that then. No, my criticism would be the way that they've booked these interviews about how they talk about each other and how they interact with each other doesn't warrant the Hell in the Cell stipulation necessarily, because I always view that as kind of that's my old school thinking it's more of a blow off type of thing that gets into a very heated feud. That it requires you two being trapped in this cage that's so brutal that you have to put out here, as opposed to what drove me nuts about the build last night was it's not about the feud and it's not about Sasha. It's about the historicalness of it all and the history of it all, and just the WWE patting itself on the back over and over about how historical this all is, as opposed to focusing on these two who are the two people in the revolution, as opposed to the concept of the revolution itself.
I think they're more than ready. I think they're more than deserving.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt in a no heat having match headlined a pay-per-view a couple weeks ago. It went on last.
Yes.
And some people will say, well, then it's not really the main event.
I love that
Well,
voice.
then don't consider this the main event either. Get the hell over it. Cry me a river.
I think they're ready for the main event. I think if they had built, let's put it this way, if this were NXT Charlotte and NXT Sasha, it'd be a hell of a lot more emotional right now, and we'd be jacked up for this match. But we've been seeing them over and over and over again every week, so it kind of doesn't have that feel to it. Kind of like how the TakeOver Brooklyn build was for Bayley and Sasha, and just how that crowd is one of the hottest I've ever seen for a match in the past couple years for WWE. So they know how to do this. They just sometimes decide not to for some inexplicable reason. But you have 3 hours to fill, so they have to be on there every week. And I just don't think we've had time for any emotional resonance, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
TNA's going to...
I've been dealing with that.
How long until TNA declares bankruptcy?
I'm trying to find another one of these tweets that somebody sent me.
Okay.
I'm trying. You do have the people that are worried about injuries. Sure. Okay, that happens. But if something happens off the cell, probably.
Which are you more worried about? Sasha doing something to hurt herself or Charlotte hurting Sasha?
I'm not worried about either one of them. I think they're professionals. I think they'll be fine.
Okay. Well, no, I just meant to those people who are worried, I guess.
There are a lot of people that are fake worried too.
Yeah.
You know those people. They want to pretend like there's something like to be, oh my gosh, that's why they shouldn't do it. Get over it. They're adults.
Oh, hold on. You think there are people just waiting for them to fail then?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
I absolutely
do you think people want the women to fail so that they could see more Roman Reigns angles and things of that nature?
It's the self-fulfilling prophecy type of thing for some people.
Okay.
I had this one guy that's like, when I brought up that the Big Boss Man versus The Undertaker was Hell in a Cell, and that's not, did that live up to the standard? No. And they said, oh, well, that's too hard to defend against. Well, then why didn't you defend against it? What do you have to counteract that? This is not, you all are putting a match on a pedestal that, what?
Even that Shane Undertaker Hell in the Cell should not be put on a pedestal of any kind. It was take
that spot out.
It was a one spot. Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. Somebody says women's wrestling just needs to be about wrestling. The women don't need the cell or gimmick matches. Well, then why do the men need it?
I'd say
why do the friggin' minis need it? Why do tag teams need it? Why does anybody need it?
I'd go the other way. You know what? I don't mind the gimmicks and stuff. I think they need to do less about the photo shoots and the modeling and the other things that WWE wants them to be, as opposed to just wrestlers. I'd much rather they go in the direction of having feuds and stipulations than photo shoots and reality television shows. If you really want to make them equal to the men. I mean, if you're serious about this kind of thing, rather than just Stephanie having some sort of PR event to say it.
Yeah, step it up. Make it different. Spice it up. Do some cool stuff. I'm okay with that. You think James Ellsworth gets signed?
No, but I think he gets a few appearances here and there up until Survivor Series, and then we don't see him. I think then he gets a Rumble appearance, and that's it.
If you all didn't check it out, Vince Russo posted his Raw blog last night.
Well, there's something that did you hear? He's not going to talk about wrestling anymore on his other show that he's running.
I've heard a lot about Vince.
Okay.
This week, Vince and I have. Yeah.
Oh.
His efforts to not cover Raw have been a thing, and he's still covering Raw. He's still covering Raw. Okay. I'll say that. Maybe he's not going to talk about it, but I don't know what he expects to talk about on Fridays.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about wrestling. He said that he brought up the Bo Dallas Neville segment, and he says Neville deserves so much better and that he wished he would have had the opportunity to work with him. Does that surprise you?
Which part? That he deserves better? That Russo would want to work with him?
Both. That Russo would say that, rather.
It doesn't shock me he'd say it. I don't know if he necessarily means it necessarily. And, by the way, Smackdown took a shot at Russo tonight. You heard that one, right?
No, I didn't. Go ahead.
Oh, when they're during the AJ Styles interview, they take a shot at WCW putting the title on James Ellsworth. That would be the biggest mistake since that would be WCW like when they put the title on David Arquette. I don't know.
Did he say when they put the title on David Arquette?
They referenced David Arquette and holding the title. I don't know the exact.
I was gonna say I hate the idea when people say put the title on
or when David when David Arquette won the title. That's what they said. Yeah.
Earlier this year, or maybe it was last year, when Bill Simmons was on commentary, and I like Bill Simmons, but he got on there and he said to JBL, "Oh, you put Cena over once, right?" And I was like, "You jackass!
Yeah,
you dumb son of a bitch!
Don't expose the business
that's
like that."
That's like Walter White looking right at the camera during Breaking Bad and saying,
"A stage direction."
How was that scene? Was it good? Was it good? It's like, we get it. It's not real. It's not real. But you don't say it. You don't.
You know what? I don't know. I mean, because look, I liked the man known as Neville when he was on the Indies. I quite enjoyed him in PWG when he was out here as Pac, whatever you want to call him. But my God, every time I hear this, I really want to see, quote unquote, my favorite acrobatic indie wrestler, like say Ricochet in WWE. I go, this is what he's going to end up like. Because people are going to get used to the flips and things like that. Learn how to talk, guys. Talk. Talking is what makes you money. Talking is what gets you in the upper echelon. Talking is what gets you everything in the WWE. The matches can be good, but you know what? Just having a bunch of aerial indie type matches isn't it's a diminishing law of returns. I mean, look at the cruiserweights right now. Cruiserweights had spectacular matches on the CWC, and now we're getting into storyline on Raw, and it's dragging, to be honest with you, and it's not fun to watch for me.
Guys, we have our full WWE 2K17 review up on Fightful.com from Mike Straw. Finally, he had a week to go through the entire game. He's going to be bringing you a lot of video game features. We actually have a video game section on our forum. That's going to be changed up a lot. I think end of day Friday is what I've been told. You all can go there to discuss movies, TV, video games, music, action figures, old school wrestling, WWE, MMA, boxing, all kinds of stuff. And we are bringing it in the V-Bulletin format. Go to Fightful.com, register, free access to all that good stuff, plus early access to our podcasts with Matt Riddle, Vince Russo, the columns Vince Russo and Showdown Joe do each week. Also, my follow-up interview with Muhammad Hassan is up on Fightful.com. I'm the only guy he's been interviewed by in the past, I think, 6 or 7 years, since he and Shad Gaspard were working on a graphic novel or something like that. But, yeah, he talked to me, said that there was a planned WWF title run for him, or WWE title run for him. So go check that out. That's over at Fightful.com/wrestling. More features up at the top now, and you can scroll from side to side. Use those. Also, tons of stuff under our exclusive section, everything from Vince Russo's columns to exclusive interviews, our Wikipedia Fact or Fiction that posts monthly, backstage news, exclusives, things like that. No UFC still for a couple of weeks, Jeff, but one Bobby Lashley fights this Friday.
That's right. He defends his title in Bellator, correct?
No, he doesn't have a title. Nobody has that title.
Oh, I thought he had a title. My fault.
No.
Sorry. I'm distracted here real quick.
Do you think that he will be the first person? Well, Dan Severn did it. He held a UFC title and the NWA title. Mm-hmm. Do you think he'll ever hold the TNA title and the Bellator title side by side?
If they give him an absolute can to fight, sure. But
I mean, Matt Mitrione's in that company now.
I think Matt Mitrione beats him. Beats him soundly.
Sure. I think so too.
I would say no, but then again, I also think TNA is not long for this world, long enough to wait for it necessarily.
They're getting sued by everybody.
Mm-hmm. And yeah,
I think they owe me money at this point.
No, the one that I read, I mean, and I showed to you that the whole with the Harris brothers involved is it's just so skeezy in terms of misrepresenting yourself to someone and then promising more production work down the road when something fell through, and then of course I think they may get out of that one because oral contracts. What they did was they set up for a production company for Bound for Glory. They did Bound for Glory. They owed them money, and instead of paying them, they promised them future work and the ability to build the sets down in Orlando once they got off the road. And then, of course, they went and got bids that were cheaper and used people who were actually more local. So this company in Virginia is suing them for breaking a quote-unquote oral contract, which are very hard to prove. So, yeah, I think TNA may actually get out of that one.
Also revealed in that lawsuit was the fact that, well, the allegation that TNA wasn't too happy with Ron and Don Harris's production work. Right. Shocker. Because I don't think that I've seen any work that they've ever done be any good in any capacity from ever. All right. Now, from the point that if you would have told me 22 years ago, there's going to be a number 2 company in the world, and Jacob and Eli Blue are going to be involved in some lawsuits towards the end of it, I'd be like, how the hell are they even still in the business?
I don't know. I mean, they look like the kind of guys who know a bunch of Teamsters, so I could assume that they know, they might have some connections.
Look like the kind of guys that know a bunch of racists, too.
I will let you hang to dry on that one.
I'm sure they'd let me hang, too.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Can't get out of this. I can't get out of this. Please continue. Move to something.
Listen, I don't care if I have heat with the Harris brothers. As long as Jimmy Van doesn't call me up and say, listen, you're fired. You got heat with the Harris brothers. I'm all right. It could happen.
Staying on MMA a little bit. Does George St. Pierre, is this just a bargaining ploy by UFC?
Nobody gives him as much. Nobody gives him near the money that UFC can give him. Now, the UFC, they're in a weird position. They laid off like 15%.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
And there are some people I'm shocked to still have their jobs, and I feel terrible for everybody who lost their job.
Well, I've been
there.
Yeah, well,
it's
the buyouts.
I mean, feelings in the world.
I mean, the buyouts were very, very fascinating in terms of who was cheaper and who was expensive, and you'd be shocked by some of the people who have rather sweet deals in terms of severance if they get fired. So I mean, Jerry Cook wasn't too much of a shock to me, but there are guys on there that they could cut, but it would just cost too much to pay them to get rid of them, so they're just going to keep them on until they can renegotiate the contract, of course.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking to hear that many people losing their jobs too, especially after such a big deal, big acquisition. They just spent $4.2 billion, and now they're downsizing. And there are some people, like I said, I'm surprised got to keep their jobs because there are some regions in which the UFC has been virtually non-existent, and the people running things there are still being kept. I don't know why. But GSP said that he didn't even ask for $10 million. And when I heard GSP's asking for $10 million, I said, good, that's probably a deal for George St. Pierre at this point. If they would have put GSP versus anybody and Rumble versus Cormier there in the Rogers Center, it would have sold out.
Yes.
It would have sold out.
Yes. Now I thought,
and it would have done great on pay-per-view as well.
Now isn't one of the points of contention the sponsor issue?
Yes. GSP had a contract from I think 2011. And that was well before Reebok took over. In his contract, in that contract, he was permitted sponsors. The UFC, Reebok weren't willing to budge on that, and apparently the GSP and his attorney saw that as grounds for termination. Now, if they take that to court and he has the money to take it to court, that could probably hold up. I don't know that a lot of – and the independent contractor thing, man, that's such a gray area. We really need an overhaul in that, just especially in a pro wrestling MMA regard. But he no matter where he goes, nobody's going to pay him as much as the UFC because Bellator, a lot of it's dependent on UFC or pay-per-view points. And Bellator doesn't have pay-per-view. And even if they get pay-per-view, it's not going to sell that much. It's just not. So his
no, but if you
position.
No, but if you put some, I mean, like let's say Bellator for some reason could get maybe one step down from the Rogers Center, could book it in Canada and book like him and Ben Askren in a major arena.
What the Air Canada? Yeah. Well, no, they could fill up the arena. Yeah. I'm not worried about the arena. I'm worried about the pay-per-view. They'll fill up an arena. If they put him in Montreal and it's GSP and then Rory McDonald right underneath that and Julia Budd, who's from the area, that will fill up a stadium.
Viacom could probably put that on CBS if they wanted to.
Yeah, they could. I'm sure they could, sure. But are you going to get that much off ad revenue from CBS? I don't think so. Not to make up for the amount that GSP would mandate. That's a lot of money. That's so much money.
I think they could get it on CBS. I do.
Oh, I know they.
If it was like a Super Bowl weekend type of special type thing that they put on free TV, I think they could get that kind of revenue.
Well, I don't think that's the issue. That's not the issue. But I don't think they can get that revenue. Not as much as pay-per-view.
No. It would be nowhere near as much as pay-per-view necessarily in terms of a super card or a super fight, but you'd still be making good money. I mean, you don't have to get.
Yeah, but then why wouldn't you just accept a UFC deal for lower?
Because dealing with the UFC is a pain.
He said he didn't mind dealing with the UFC. They had an offer on the table. He agreed to it, and that was that. But do you remember? I remember when, like, Affliction in 2009 was paying like Andrei Arlovsky $1.5 million flat, and people were like, "What?"
No,
still.
And I went to that card.
When you hear that.
I went to that card.
When you hear that, you live in California. You get to go to all kinds of stuff. You know what I went to, Jeff? I went to Strike Force Nashville. It sucked.
Why are you burying me for just going to a terrible MMA show? It was a bad show. How dare you
live in a nice location?
Yeah, look, I pay a pretty penny in taxes too. I'd much rather live where you live.
I'd much rather live in Florida where there's no state income tax.
Amen. Yes.
I'd like to do. I did get to go to Eric Silva versus Matt Brown. That was pretty awesome.
Oh, I bet. Matt Brown's a lot of fun anytime you do it. And Silva, that Silva fight was great.
And it was in Ohio. And then the next day, I was at Great American Ballpark to see Aroldis Chapman return for the first time after he got hit with that line drive. So that was a pretty cool weekend. I got to go to that. Also, I got to see Ronda Rousey win the Strikeforce Championship. That was pretty cool. So I guess I've gotten to see some cool stuff. Now, I didn't get to see Jay Huron versus Jason High in the co-main event like you did, but I'm not a traveling guy. I'm not big on that. Do we still have you, Jeff? There we go. We lost you.
Oh.
Yeah, I had a couple job offers before I accepted the one at Fightful, and two of them were contingent on a lot of travel, and I wasn't that interested in that. Now, if I have to travel for Fightful, no big deal, but this would have required like a lot of travel, and I think you can do it all remotely. Jeff, I'll ask you this before we go.
Okay.
How do you think a Goldberg-Brock Lesnar match goes? How do you think it'll be good?
No. Under no scale do I think it'll be good. I think it'll be a lot of smoke and mirrors. I think they're probably going to make it a no holds barred or something to that effect in order to make it a brawl rather than a wrestling match. Goldberg didn't even work those long matches when he was actually wrestling, let alone taking 12 years off and being 50 years old and only doing Muay Thai rather than actual, rope running in a ring and things of that nature. So I don't have high expectations for this. This is the wrestling equivalent of a freak show fight. But, he's not a guy like Sting who's been working for all this time.
Somebody asked if we will see any color in the Hell in a Cell women's match. No,
not on purpose.
Yeah. Somebody says, after encouraging us to view through Fightful, is Sean only answering YouTube comments now? No, as it turns out, I am not. There's the answer to your question. Go sit in the corner. Somebody says, Sean, can you post a debate thread tomorrow night? Hell yeah, I'll post a debate thread tomorrow night. I just won't comment on it because somebody accused me of being biased against Donald Trump in the Muhammad Hassan article. And I'm sorry, guys. I can't do an article about a guy who portrayed a Muslim and not bring up Donald Trump. Got to do it.
Journalistic integrity right there.
Part of the story. And the person said that I was abandoning journalistic integrity by bringing up that Donald Trump may appeal to some xenophobic demographics. No, I'm not a political analyst. This is not a political piece.
God, I'll be so glad when this is over.
Me too.
Too many friends hating each other.
Somebody says, who do you think are in the Survivor Series matches? Oh, God, you're asking me to name 40 people. Everybody's in them. Everybody. Well, we'll answer that as it gets a little bit closer. How about that?
I don't think the world champions will be on their respective teams.
I don't think they should be. I think that's what they should be competing for. The winners get like title shots or something.
Okay, I'll take like Soul Survivors. Get them.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. Somebody says, what the hell is Otunga saying about Kenny's appearance? He looks great. JBL, the proper correction for once. JBL was good tonight. Yeah, Kenny's in ridiculous shape.
Yeah, Otunga. I think Otunga meant to go after Mikey at first, and then just looked at Kenny and just said whatever. I think he got him too mixed up because he's terrible. Not Kenny, but Otunga.
Somebody says, does anybody think that Tony Nese looks like a poor man's Neville?
Could. You know, if Neville grew out the beard and darkened his hair a bit, maybe. But I think it's just two jacked small guys. That's about the only thing they share in common.
Guys, visit Fightful.com. We got all kinds of stuff for you. More live viewing parties than any website in the world. Wrestling, MMA, boxing. We cover WWE, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Lucha Underground. Everything live. TNA. We got it all live. Bellator, UFC, everything on Fight Pass David T's covers. I don't know how he does it, but he does. Boxing events, covering those live as well. Check out those individual sections. Also our video sections. We like to bring you as much media as possible. If there's a video worth watching, we will post it on Fightful.com. It'll be underneath our video section. Podcast tomorrow evening. I am back with Showdown Joe. Thursday afternoon with Matt Riddle. Also, I got Matt Riddle some new equipment, so you'll be able to hear him better, see him better, stuff like that. Friday with Vince Russo. We'll talk about his absolute hatred for WWE now and the little shots people have been taking at him in WWE, I guess. Register for a free Fightful account, no credit card. You'll never have to pay. You'll get access to our forums, exclusive access to columns, backstage news, early access to podcasts, all that cool stuff. Jeff, before we go, tell these people about Shake Them Ropes.
This week on Shake Them Ropes, more Raw, more SmackDown. We'll look at what's happened in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Tournament. Our top 100 match before you die is Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle from WrestleMania 21 in Los Angeles. And if you're in the Phoenix area, come down Friday or Saturday to the Torch Theater Improv Festival. I'll be there 9 o'clock on Friday and 7 o'clock on Saturday doing a show.
I would like to, but I don't live in California.
I was in Cincinnati last year. Okay, if you had known me then.
Were you?
Yeah, I did something at the Cincinnati Improv Festival.
But you need to come back. That would be fantastic.
They're good people. I'll introduce you to them if you'd like.
That would be cool. That would be cool. Then I can go watch you and hear the.
Oh wow! Really?
I'm just kidding.
I'm
just kidding.
So cool.
More like that. There we go. Are you happy? Don't be a diva, Jeff.
I will not. You know what? That's why I have Fearless written across my chest.
You win the podcast tonight. You're victorious.
Yay.
I'll say this. Rob hasn't beat you in the ratings in weeks.
Well, he's only been on once.
Hey, there you go. Maybe he did beat you last week. I don't know.
I need to come back to Cincinnati anyways because I loved the Montgomery Inn. I absolutely love that restaurant. That restaurant is fantastic. I was like, gosh, this is some of the best food I've ever had.
This weekend, my fiance and I, or my wife, I'm so used to calling her my fiance for like a year before that. My wife and I, we went into Cincinnati. One of our teammates fought, or one of my teammates fought on a show, and then we went to Cincinnati, went on beyond into Kings Island. We don't go into Cincinnati a lot, like at night.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful city, lit up at night. Beautiful city. Highly encourage people to check it out. Like Fightful.com. Hot diggity damn, guys. We got all kinds of stuff. Visit us multiple times a day. Just sit there at work. Click. What the hell? I didn't even mean to click that. I was just telling people to click the website and accidentally clicked one of the Google effects.
Say goodnight, Sean Ross Sapp.
Good night, Sean Ross Sapp.